So I thought today that we would start by just inviting ourselves to consider how we're maintaining our hearts during this pandemic. So I attended a workshop on Friday for acupuncturists. I'm also an acupuncturist, and the speaker asked us to consider how we were maintaining our hearts and not suffering from loss of heart during this difficult time. So I'll invite you to hold that question today as we move into some heart openers. Let's begin. So you can come to a comfortable seat, eyes closed or gaze soft, and we'll take a moment to settle. You can begin to become aware of your breath. Taking a moment to just notice how you're breathing. And as you begin to settle and ground, I'll invite you to bring your right hand into a fist and to place that fist over your heart space. With right fist over your heart, begin to notice your heart. Your heart is a muscle, roughly the shape and size of your fist. Feel for how loose or how clenched your own heart is. And maybe invite your heart to soften just 2 or 3%. We'll take a few more slow, deep breaths here, breathing all the way down into the pelvis. As you consider asking yourself the question, how can I soften my heart? In a few moments, I'll invite you to take a pranayama, a breathing exercise with me. Today we'll open with Brahmari, which is a buzzing breath or a humming breath. So in a few moments, I'll ask you to inhale through the nose and exhale, making a buzzing sound as if you're humming up your heart. I'll demonstrate in a minute. And just know that anytime that you run out of breath, you can just stop, breathe in, and begin again. We'll feel for a pitch or a tone that will maybe cause a vibration beneath that fist if you choose to keep it on your heart. The Brahmari will sound like this. You're making a humming or a buzzing sound through closed lips. Please breathe in. And as you're ready, begin. Please finish whatever round you're on. Bring that right fist back over your heart if it's not already there. And just notice how your heart space is feeling now. Maybe notice the back of your heart between the shoulder blades. Inviting yourself to soften and to settle in. As you're ready, you can release your hand. Please lift your right hand to the sky. Reach up so that you get tall through those fingertips. And then bend that elbow, bringing the palm to the left side of the head. You're using the palm as more of a weight, less of a press. On your next inhale, tilt your head over to the right, using that palm to create just a little bit of traction, a little bit of weight for this next stretch. You can begin to tilt your chin towards your chest. Slowly, just finding a space where you feel a juicy sensation along the side of the neck, left side. We'll be here for a few more breaths. How tall can you be? How grounded through the sit bones as you release that head just maybe half an inch over to the right. Continue breathing into the heart, maybe even into the muscle fibers of the neck. Take one more breath. As you exhale, you can release. Bring the head back up through center, and we'll switch sides. So inhale to lift those left fingertips up, get tall. Bend that elbow, release the palm to the right side of the head. As you exhale, send that ear, left ear, over to the left. And then maybe tilt the chin slowly, finding that maximum stretch along the fibers of the right side of the neck. Continue getting tall, bringing down through the sit bones, maybe even finding a lift through the heart. We'll take a few more breaths here. You can send that right shoulder blade down the back. Maybe invite your neck and head just half an inch more to the left. Take one more breath here. And as you're ready, you can release that hand and we'll come back through center. Please switch the cross of your legs if you're in a cross-legged seat. Please interlace your palms so that you have one big hand clasped, and then bring the thumb side edge to your heart. As you breathe in, please send the right shoulder blade back behind you, right elbow back behind you. Then on your next inhale, send the left shoulder blade back behind you, left elbow back behind you. Continue with the swimming of the elbows, taking one full breath for each side. It's okay for the heels of the hands to rock apart. This is a Qigong exercise that opens up the back of the heart space. So notice how the back of the heart feels. Feel the shoulder blades coming together. As you swim your elbows back, one at a time. Maybe you notice a broadness through the front of the chest. And keep your sit bones heavy here. Take one more rotation on each side. And as you're ready, come back through center. Take that right hand into a fist. Place it over the heart space. Ground down through your sit bones. And just notice how your heart is feeling now. Great. On your next inhale, release. And we'll come forward into hands and knees. We'll be here for a little while, so if you have a blanket or a towel and you like to pad up, go ahead and do that. We'll start with cat-cow. So knees are under the hips, wrists are under the shoulders, toes can tuck or untuck. As you inhale, drop the belly, lift the gaze. As you exhale, push the ground away, round the upper back, look towards your navel. Keep going with your own breath, noticing what the shoulders are doing. We often initiate this movement, we start it from the tailbone. Maybe invite yourself to start it from the shoulder blades. Really feel the upper back rounding as you come into cat, and feel the shoulder blades really dipping apart as you come into cow. Dipping together, actually, I should say. Take 2 more rounds with your own breath. Really make your breath sweet. And on your next inhale, return to a neutral spine. We'll move into puppy pose. So your knees will stay under your hips. Just walk your hands forward. Hands can be wider than the shoulders. Keep walking the hands forward. You can find a soft bend in the elbows. The tailbone will rotate up towards the sky. Head might come to the ground or it might hover. Wherever you are, you should feel a strong stretch along the back of the shoulders, back of the heart. Pull your low ribs and belly back to integrate the torso. We'll be here for a few more breaths. Keep hands heavy on the mat. Toes tucked could help if you're feeling like you're tipping forward. Please take 1 more breath in and out. And on your next inhale, walk your hands back, return to hands and knees. From here, please extend your right leg straight back behind you. On your next inhale, bend that right knee, send it towards your nose. As you exhale, send it back. Every inhale will send knee towards nose, lift it a little higher. Exhale it back. Do 2 more with your own breath, waking up your core here, finding your strength and stability. As you've completed that, return to center, extend that right leg back, and then send those right toes down to the ground. Tuck your toes on both feet. This will be your inhale position. As you exhale, lunge back into that right ball of the foot, stretching the back right calf. Every inhale will bring you back to wrists under shoulders. To exhale, lean back into that right leg, and then come back to center. Try a few more of these rocking calf stretches. Maybe you stay back. Give a gentle bounce, keeping a soft bend in that knee. We'll take 1 more breath here. As you're ready, come back through center, pick up that right leg, and then send that right leg at a diagonal over to the left. Same thing here. So we're finding this inhale position, wrist under shoulders. Exhale, lunge back into those right toes. You should feel a stretch on the outside of that right leg. Inhale, come back, and exhale, rock back again. Try 2 more with your own breath, waking up the backs and the sides of the legs. As you've completed that, come back through center and send that right knee back down to the ground. Second side. So please extend that left leg straight back, toes point down. As you inhale, bend that left knee, knee to nose. Exhale, send it back. As you inhale, knee towards nose. And exhale, send it on back. Do 2 more with your own breath, finding how high you can get that knee towards the nose. As you've completed that, you'll extend that left leg long behind you. Left toes will hit the floor. As you exhale, lunge back into that left leg. You should feel the back of your left lower leg, left calf. And as you exhale, send it back again. Inhale, return to neutral. Do 2 more with your own breath. Maybe finding a gentle bounce on your last side, really lunging it back. As you inhale, return to center. Lift that left leg, toes point straight down. Swing it over to the right at a diagonal. And then as you exhale, lunge back into that back left leg. Inhale will bring you through center. Exhale, lunge it back. And inhale through center. Do 2 more. Looking for a stretch along the outer edge of the upper left leg. And as you're ready, come back through center. So please plant your knees on the ground and then widen your knees so that they're more outside of your wrists. The toes will come towards each other. From here, please untuck the toes so tops of the feet are on the ground. As you inhale, find cow pose. So tailbone will lift, belly will drop. And as you exhale, round the spine, sit back into child's pose. We'll try this flow a few more times. So the inhale will bring you into a little back bend, find cow. And as you exhale, tuck the belly towards the ribs for child's pose. You can choose to stay in child's pose, of course, if you prefer it. Or we'll find a few more rounds of this slow, sweet vinyasa. Finding this variation between the back bend and the fold. Okay, take 1 more if you're still flowing. And this time we'll sit down into child's pose for a moment. It might feel nice to walk the hands out. If you have a blanket or a pillow and head doesn't come to floor, you could grab that. Or just release down towards the mat, keeping the hands heavy, sitting the hips back towards the heels. Take a moment to notice how your heart feels, feeling for front and back of the heart here. Let's take 1 more breath in and out. On your next inhale, return to hands and knees. Okay, so please parallel your knees again so that they're under your hips. Walk your hands 1 handprint forward. Walk your knees 1 knee distance, 1 knee print back. Tuck the toes and lift the hips to the sky for downward facing dog. Option to stay in down dog or take a vinyasa with me. If you'd like to take that vinyasa, you can shift forward into plank. Pull the belly towards the spine, pull upper back up. And as you exhale, return to downward facing dog. Inhale will take you forward into plank again. Knees could be down or up. Pull belly towards spine. And exhale back to downward facing dog. Let's do 2 more with your own breath. Option to stay in down dog or stay in plank. Feeling what it's like to find the stability of the opening here. And as you're ready, we'll meet back in downward facing dog. We're moving into a low lunge, so you can either lift right leg to the sky and step it through the hands, or drop your knees to the ground, gentler transition, and step that right foot forward between the hands. I do recommend a blanket here. We're going to be down on our knees for a little bit. So step that right foot through, however you've gotten there, and then pull your inner thighs together to give you the stability to begin to rise. Back toes tucked, left toes tucked will give you more support. More challenge will be toes untucked. You can bring your hands onto that front thigh. Option here to spread your wings into cactus and then cross right elbow over left, giving yourself a hug, or bringing forearm to forearm or palm to palm for eagle pose. Wherever you've landed, pull your low ribs and low belly back. Begin to send elbows towards the sky. Shoulder blades will go down the back. You can begin to send your head back in space, sides of the throat back. Keep hugging inner thighs together to keep you stable. Breathe into the heart space here. We'll take one more breath. On your next inhale, come back through center. Bring those hands onto the front thigh. Option to stay right here. Or you could begin to release into cactus, or you can go into a T if you have the space. Begin to twist over to your right. Beautiful. Option to stay here in this nice open twist, pulling that right hip back. This might be enough for you. Or you can hook that left elbow outside the right knee. Continue pulling that right hip back, coming into the twist. You can stack palm on palm. Elbows will stack over each other. Keep pulling the right hip back so the pose doesn't lunge forward. Keep that right knee over right ankle. Take one more breath wherever you are. And as you're ready, come back through center. Release your hands to the ground and walk your right foot over to the right. So your right hand and right foot will switch places. Tuck your left toes and walk your left knee back just half a knee print. From here, stick your tush back towards the back of the room. Bend that left knee and grab on with left hand to outer edge of that left foot, pulling that left heel towards left outer hip for a quad stretch. You can stay right here, or you can bring that right hand onto right thigh. Even an option to lift it overhead if you want a little flourish, or just stay in the fold, same pose. Wherever you are, keep lunging into that front knee, looking for a stretch on the left front of the thigh. Might even feel it in the right inner thigh. Send shoulder back so that your heart's not dipping forward. Take one more breath. And as you're ready, release. And we've got a second side. So hands and knees, or if you prefer, you can go back to down dog to step the left foot through. If you're down on hands and knees with me, just pick up your left foot and send it through the hands. Low lunge side 2. So square everything off again. You've got that left ankle under left knee, right knee under right hip. You can hug the inner thighs together and we'll come on up. Find your bearings here, hips pointed straight forward. Hugging the inner thighs together to stabilize the pose. If you'd like to try eagle arms with me, you'll bring the hands into cactus and then cross left elbow over right. Again, option to hug, option to bring back to the forearms together. even bringing the palms together, you might do something different this side. Wherever you've landed, send those elbows up to the sky, back of the head, sides of the throat back, shoulder blades down the back. Pull the low ribs and low belly back. Keep lifting elbows up, even as you bend and descend into that front left knee. How open and relaxed can your heart space be? You might feel a strong stretch on the back of the heart. How can you not compress the front of the heart? Let's take one more breath in. Maybe lift those elbows a little higher. And on your next inhale, unwind. Return to hands on that front thigh. Maybe you're happy right here, or maybe you begin to open the arms into a twist. Keep pulling that left hip back in space. Maybe you stay right here, feeling glorious, open in the chest. Or maybe you hook that right elbow outside the left knee. Bring palm to palm together. Elbows will stack. Keep pulling the left hip back as you revolve from the belly. Keep hugging inner thighs together. Send back of the head, sides of the throat back. Hug inner thighs together to give yourself the support that you need. We'll be here for 2 more breaths. As you're ready, unwind. Bring hands outside to either side of that foot. Then switch so that left foot moves outside of the left hand. You're on fingertips here. Send your tush back. Pick up your right knee. Move it back half a knee print just so you're not on the bony part. And then pick up that right foot. Bend that right knee. Reach back for the outer edge of that foot with the right hand. As you're ready, you can lunge back into that front knee, pulling that right heel in towards your hip. Stay right here, or send that hand on, or elbow onto that front thigh. Flourish if you like. I'm actually going back down to hands right now. This side is super tight, so make any allowances that you need for differences from one side to the other. Keep lunging into that left knee. Feeling a strong stretch in the right thigh, maybe even in the left outer hip. Take one more breath here. And as you're ready, come on down, come back to all fours. And then we'll walk the hands forward, one hand print. Walk the knees back, one knee print. Tuck the toes and return to downward facing dog. So maybe you pedal out your feet here, going from one side to the other. Maybe you stay in stillness, bending those knees, getting hips to the sky, sending heart towards your heels. Take one more breath in your down dog, wherever you've landed. On your next inhale, shift forward to plank, knees up or down. Pull low belly, low ribs back, and exhale all the way down to your mat. If you've got a blanket, just swivel to the side for a minute. Get that out of the way. We're setting up for cobra pose, so untuck the toes. Place the palms on either side of the ribs, forehead to floor. As you inhale, push down into the hands and the feet, and send your heart up and through. Nice. Send shoulder blades down the back. Send tailbone back behind you. Take one more breath in. As you exhale, lower down. Let's all take a break in child's pose. You can come back to your knees, widen them to the edges of the mat, sit back towards your heels, and then walk the hands forward. If your hips don't meet your heels, you can always take a blanket or a pillow and place it behind the knees, giving yourself a little boost here. Catch your breath. Release your heart and your head down towards the mat. Taking a moment to recommit to yourself. We'll be here for a few more breaths. As you're ready, we'll meet back down on our bellies again, so release. If you have a blanket or a pillow, just get that off to the side for a moment. And we're going to move into some locust pose, vinyasas. So please untuck the toes. You can bring your forehead to the ground. Palms will come long at your side, palms face down. Please lift up your right foot to the sky and then point those toes towards your left leg. This will rotate your inner thigh up towards the ceiling. Then place that foot back on the floor with this rotation. Inhale, pick up your left foot, rotate those toes towards the right leg. This will lift your upper inner thigh up towards the ceiling. Then place those toes back down. As you inhale, press down into the tops of the feet, press down into the hands, pull belly towards spine, and on your next inhale, lift your forehead and chest up off the floor for half locust. As you exhale, lower down. On your next inhale, lift only your feet up towards the sky, send tailbone long behind you. Exhale, lower down. We'll try this a few more times. So inhale, lift only the forehead and the chest, press it to the palms and the feet. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, pick up the legs, send them long behind you. And exhale, lower down. Keep going with your own breath. If you have any tension in your low back, send your tailbone back behind you as you lift the head and the chest. Good. This will actually strengthen the muscles along your spine. When we have that stability through the core, lifting belly towards spine, we have more capacity. The next time you lift your legs, you can just come back down for a moment. You can rest a cheek to the side, maybe you release your hands long in front of you or keep them at your side. We'll just take a break here. Great. Please bring your forehead back down to the ground. This time we'll have an option for full locust. So this time we'll lift hands, feet, legs, head, and chest, everything except the pelvis. So as you inhale, lift everything except pelvis up off the mat. Hands will fly behind you. Keep pulling that belly towards the spine. Extend legs back behind you. Send shoulder blades down the back. Lift up a little bit higher. And exhale, lower down. Rest opposite cheek on the ground. Maybe you bend your knees. You can windshield wiper your legs left to right. Just feeling out your low back. Keep, even here, keep pulling your belly towards your spine. Keep your core integrated. Take a few more breaths here. And as you're ready, press into your palms and return to hands and knees, then have a seat. So we're going to find some more abdominal work and find that lift through the heart. So please bring soles of the feet into the ground and then lift up so that your heart is lifted towards the ceiling. Bring your palms beneath your knees, behind your knees, and then rock onto the edge of your sit bones beneath your pelvis. As you're ready, find that broadness through the heart. Send shoulder blades back, back of head back. Begin to lean back. You can stay right here the whole time, just pulling belly towards spine, finding that lift through the heart, and sending back of the head back in space. Or if you would like more, you can begin to lift your right leg, maybe, and then maybe your left leg to meet it. You can straighten the legs. You can bring toes back down to the floor if you lose that lift in the heart. We'll be here for a few breaths wherever you'd like to play. Navasana, boat pose. So don't sacrifice that low back curve or that lift in the heart. It's not really about how high you get your legs or even if you lift them. It's finding that graceful buoyancy here. Please take 2 more breaths wherever you've landed. And as you exhale, touch the toes back down, bring soles of the feet together for Baddha Konasana. As you inhale, please bring your right hand over to your left thigh, coming into a twist. This left hand will come behind you. You can tent up on fingertips. Pull up so that you're super tall and then twist over to your left. Keep sit bones grounded on the mat. Instead of twisting with your head, send back of the head back. Even that back left shoulder blade back. You can look over the back shoulder, or you can find a counter twist by slowly rotating your neck to look over the right shoulder. Do what feels best for you. Keep boosting those back left fingertips down into the ground to revolve yourself around. Keep finding that rotation through the torso, even as you're grounded in the sit bones. Take 2 more slow, deep breaths here, bringing out the belly, breathing up into the heart. And as you're ready, come back through center. We'll switch sides. So take that left hand over to the outer right leg. Send those right fingertips tented up behind you so you can get so tall. Get tall as you twist over to the right. Keep sit bones grounding down into the mat. Send that right shoulder blade back. Maybe look back over that right shoulder. Option to slowly rotate the head for the counter stretch on the neck. Looking over that front left shoulder now. Do what feels best for your neck. Keep using that boost of those back fingertips to get so tall so that you can keep that lift in the heart. We'll take 1 more breath here. As you're ready, come back through center. Stay in Baddha Konasana. This time we'll take our right hand to our right thigh and then take that left hand back behind you at a diagonal. Lean back into that back hand And then use this right hand on right middle thigh, not the knee, to traction your thigh bone longer. As if you could just swoosh and glide your thigh bone into the future. You're not pushing down, you're gliding. Lean back into the support of that back hand as you find a strong opening in that right hip. One more breath here. As you're ready, come back through center and we'll switch. So left palm will come to left middle thigh. Right hand will go back behind you to diagonal so you can lean back into that hand. Lean back with the head back, heart forward, and then glide that left thigh bone into the future. Sending it long, 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 making more space in your bones. More room for your heart to lift. Let's take 2 more breaths right here. As you're ready, come back through center. One more option in Baddha Konasana. You can grab onto your ankles or your shins, reach up, lift the heart towards the sky, traction yourself long, and then exhale to fold. You can find that fold in the upper back, rounding like cat pose. Releasing the weight of your head and your neck, shaking your head no to make sure that you've actually released it. Just letting yourself slump here after having obtained that maximum length. Let your head and neck go. Let yourself hang. Even here, invite yourself to pull belly towards spine. Notice if that lets you fold a little bit deeper. And take one more breath here. On your next inhale, begin to walk yourself back up. Bring your palms under your thighs, help your legs together, and please come onto your backs. Please plant the soles of the feet into the ground. And then we'll have one more option for a back bend. If you're done, you can just hang out here, even bringing soles of the feet wide and knocking the knees together. If you'd like to take bridge pose, you'll have the soles of the feet hip width distance, and then reach down so that you can just brush the back of your heel with your longest finger. Feet will be parallel as best as you can feel. You can grab onto the edge of your mat so that your thumb is on the top of the mat, the fingers are beneath it. As you inhale, please push into your feet, push into your back of the head, and lift your hips to the sky. If you've got those hands underneath the mat, you can wiggle the shoulder blades beneath you. Keep sending your tailbone long in front of you. Maybe finding a little more space to lift hips to the sky without knees going too wide. We'll take one more breath in our bridge. And as you exhale, lower down. Please take your feet wide to the outer edges of your mat. Knock your knees together. Maybe bring your hands over your heart and just feel into your heart space, letting your shoulders soften back into the mat. As you're ready, please bring the feet back to parallel. Pick up your right foot and cross that right ankle outside of the left knee. You can stay right here. This is a perfectly glorious place to be, sending that right knee away from you. Or if you'd like a little more, pick up that left foot, interlace your hands behind the left thigh. Pulling that left thigh in towards you as right knee pulls away. Keep that right foot flexed so that it will protect your knee and your ankle. Try to wiggle shoulder blades down onto the ground, feeling even a little lift in the heart right here. We'll take one more breath. And as you exhale, keep your feet and legs as they are, but release the grip so that left sole of the foot comes down to the ground. Bring your arms into cactus or goalpost, and then let your legs fall over to the left. Right sole of the foot will end up on the floor. Left outer edge of the foot will end up on the ground, or outer edge of the leg. So moving into a supine twist. So send your head and neck over to the right, finding length along the right side of the body. So sending that right hip away from you, coming into this twist, finding a twist of the belly moving left to right. You can stamp down that right sole of the foot into the ground and send that right hip towards the top of your mat. Keep shoulder blades grounded here, maybe even wiggle them onto your back. Find that lift through the heart space and awareness of your heart here. Let's take 2 more breaths. As you're ready, bring your head and neck back through center. Lift your feet and legs through center. And then we'll unwind and try the second side. So cross the left foot over the right outer knee. Keep that left foot flexed. Stamp down into the ground with the right foot. Send your left knee away from you. Maybe you stay right here. Or maybe you pick up that right foot, interlace your hands behind that right thigh. You may do that and immediately think, wow, I am very, very tight on that left outer thigh. I'm just going to release that foot back down and send that left knee away from me. You don't have to do the same thing on both sides. So wherever you've landed, send that left knee away from you. Maybe you're hugging that right thigh towards you. Keep finding how you can soften down into the mat with the upper body, even if there's so much work in the lower body. Take one more breath here. You've got that right knee hugged in. Send the right sole of the foot back to the ground. As you exhale, come into cactus and send that left sole of the foot and legs over to the right. You'll end up on left sole of the foot, right outer leg will be on the floor. Again, send that left hip away from you so you get so long in the left side of the body. Belly twist from left to right. Send right to left, sorry. And then send your gaze over to the left, finding that counter stretch in the neck. If this doesn't feel good, of course you can just come with head back to center. Keep breathing into the left side of the body. Send backs of the arms and shoulder blades heavy down into the mat. Find that lift through the heart for one more breath. And on your next inhale, come back through center, unwind, hug the knees into the chest. Maybe you rock side to side for a moment, just rolling up the lower back. there are any final movements you need before Shavasana, maybe you bend the knees wide, reaching through for outer edge of the legs for happy baby, or maybe you just allow yourself to spread here. Take up any space that you might need. And one more time, I'll invite you to bring your right fist to your heart. Feeling into your heart space. Maybe inviting yourself to open just 2 or 3%. As you're ready, you can release back into Shavasana. Maybe taking the time to put on extra layers or bring a blanket over your pelvis or beneath your knees. Taking the time to be truly comfortable here. Invite yourself to soften back into the darkness of Shavasana, final rest. Slowly begin to deepen the breath, inviting yourself back into your body, back into the room. As you feel ready, you can extend your right arm long behind you, back of the palm might hit the floor. Bend that right elbow and roll off onto your right side, making a little pillow for your head. Take a moment here to tuck into yourself, to notice the space of your heart. As you're ready, you can press yourself up to a comfortable seat, eyes closed or gaze soft. I'll invite us all to take one more round of Brahmari. You can just listen or sing along. If you'd like to join me, please inhale and then begin. Take a moment here to appreciate any resonance you might feel in your heart space. Maybe take a moment to appreciate yourself. Maybe making a moment to take the time today to take care of yourself in a way that will nourish yourself and the world. Thank you so much for allowing me to be with you today. Have a wonderful day. Peace.